get this factory wheel out of here, get down to business. Now, first thing we want to do is lay out your goodies. Woo! Now in the rear, we've got our rotor, caliper, rear sway bar, and shocks. So I think that's going to be our first step back here. Lay it out, make sure you have everything. That way you finish it now, not a month from now, and the parts you don't have, you can't install. First one, oh, look at that rotor. Now this is cast, but it's going to have a nice aluminum hat, which is going to save you a lot of weight over the cast iron original. It's drilled and vented. It's directional, so make sure that you look at your left and your right, and the front and the rear are different also, so make sure you get those correct. And put that down. Look at your caliper. Oh, look at the difference in the originals and these 4-piston. The fronts have 6-piston. Great thing about these, since they're from Lexus, all your lines are going to work, ABS is going to work properly, and I'm going to go ahead and get these bolted in. How you coming up there, Byrd?
And I'm making a lot of progress. And I've got my caliper off. I've got it hanging here by a welding rod. You can use a coat hanger or something. You just want to make sure you take the pressure off this little rubber hose. You'll pull the insides apart. I've got my caliper bracket off. You can see my pads sitting here like this. And I've got everything but my last bolt on my hub and bearing assembly. And getting on my way to pulling this whole sort of coilover assembly out. Now, let me get this guy out real quick. All right. And this whole bearing and hub and dust shield will come off. And we're going to end up throwing this dust shield away because the new caliper and rotor is so big this won't fit. So we don't even need this guy. Now it's starting to get stripped down and naked, which is good because ultimately we're trying to get this coilover assembly out. This is a really nice design. Got a lower and upper control arm and a real long reach upright. Real good geometry. And I've got a real coilover system here. I've got my lower bolt out. I've got most of the pressure relieved out of that spring by dropping it down. I've got my sway bar removed. I've got my wheel sensor off. So really, I think I'm ready to go upstairs, loosen a few bolts, and then I'm going to come back down and drop my steering arm off, and I should be able to pull my control arm and get this coilover out of here. Now let's look up on the bench. Now, like we said, we're going to throw that dust shield away, and in place, we're going to put this little spacer plate, and it's going to slide right here between here and the upright. Now you can see the size of the original. That's the caliper bracket, the caliper mounts here. It's a single piston. Now what's better than 1 piston? 6 pistons. Yeah, that's right. Now this guy, a 6-piston opposed caliper. Brian's is only 4, mine's bigger. I also got the bigger rotor up front, 14-inch diameter. This thing's going to have huge stopping power. I mean, you can see relative to this old guy here. Definitely want to get rid of him and move up to the big stuff. Now coming up, we've got that whole coilover assembly. So it's a sneak peek. Let me see if I can get that guy out of there.
Byrd was lucky. He could just pull his dust shield off. Mine, we have to go in and cut because if you get back into the rear end, it's a lot harder to pull this one off. Easier just to cut it. Pretty common on these brake kits. So I'm going to finish this. You go take a break.
The spring compressor is making you look huge.
That's right, I'm getting my workout in. Now, the thing you guys want to remember is safety first. There's a lot of energy that could be in these springs, and you want to make sure you've got it all compressed before you start taking the thing apart. Now, you don't need a high-dollar machine like this. You know, you can rent or borrow one, usually from your parts store. But I tell you what, doing it the right way saves some eyes, limbs, you know, maybe even life. So, got the old guy out, and I'm going to take the little rubber seat, transfer it over to the new Lexus F Sport strut or coilover assembly. And I want to make sure I line my spring up here on the perch. There we go. I'm going to throw the nut at the top. And I can run that baby down. And once that's solid, I can release, you know, my spring. I've got a new coilover assembly ready to install.
See, we got our dust shield trimmed back. So much for keeping my hands clean. Sounded like a good idea. This is our new caliper bracket. I went ahead and left it loose because I just wanted to double check the fitment. Put our new shock in. And one of the things I hadn't seen before in a car inside the rear wheel well was sound deadening. Pretty cool. It's all lined in this stuff. Up underneath there are a couple of bolts that we got that shock out and 3 bolts out of the top in the trunk. And so now I'm gonna show you the new rotor. Put that on there, pretty snazzy. And the Lexus S Sport, we got some cool whizzy little lug nuts there that'll keep it from falling on my toe. Oh, now the almighty caliper. So put that on, should go pretty easy. You can find my bracket here, there we go. Okay, looks like it fits nice. So now we just need to replace the line, put it on the new caliper, bleed it, ready to rock.
All right, we got the 4 corners going. We got brakes, we got all the suspension pieces on that end, but we got to control the body motion. So start pulling some of these panels down. I got about 50 screws so far, and I'm hoping not many left. And there we go. I think we got it. Oops. Got some exposure. You start to see a lot of these high-end cars with full body cladding under the bottom side. It's nice. It gets a little bit smoother, a little more aerodynamic, pick up some fuel economy, maybe even some top-end speed. This one's got some nice insulation, quiet down some of the engine noise. What we're really after, there it is, the sway bar. There's 2. And I'm gonna try not to drop this on my head, but no promises. There's a bolt, and there we go. So we got new bushings because the bar diameter is bigger, and that's what's going to make the whole thing stiffer. So I'll put this aside. I'm going to take these brackets with it, but I'll just show you how this guy is going to slide right back up in there. Oops. Like so. All right, let me bolt it in.
Everything under the car is done. Got our rotors on here, time to put some wheels on. But while we're here, I want to show you a couple of cool little features. If you look inside, check out this little sensor. What it does is the control arm goes up and down, tells the computer what the ride height is on each wheel side. Another cool sensor, TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system. Before you get your wheels built, you have to put this in. Obviously, it gives you your tire pressure, tells you when you have a low one. Now, we're gonna finish it off with a nice set of these F Sport lug nuts. Oh, with the adapter, these are nice. And then we bring in the 19-inch, cap it off. Oh, graphite colored new wheel. Oh baby, forged aluminum. These are gonna be lighter. They're gonna fit our new brakes. And look how cool that looks through. 225, 35, 19-inch. Nice.